Welcome to our virtual summit. Thank you so much for joining today, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Sarah Marr, and I am proud to kick off our workshop today, Facilitating a District-Based Virtual Elective Program. I'm a regional sales manager with eDynamic Learning and support schools across the Northeast. Our first presenter today is Elisa Maggi, who is the supervisor for Nassau BOCES Center for Online Learning. Prior to this assignment, Ms. Maggi served as a preschool and primary teacher, early childhood administrator, and led the Nassau BOCES Model Schools Instructional Technology Program. Our second presenter is Eileen Dwyer, who is the program coordinator for the Center of Online Learning at Nassau BOCES and also works with Elisa. She is the lead facilitator for the Online Learning Academy, and for the past 3 years, she has supervised the Virtual Elective Program at Valley Stream Central High School District. In addition, she works with Nassau County School Districts in their efforts to provide virtual learning resources to maximize student success. With so many of you on the virtual call today, you will remain on mute, but please feel free to ask any additional questions that you have in the chat panel on the GoToWebinar window, and we will do our best to get those questions answered. If we don't have time to address them all, that's okay. We'll be sure to follow up with you afterwards to provide the answers. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Elisa and Eileen.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us in the afternoon. I applaud you all as educators to be hanging in there at a 4:30 presentation on a Friday. And if you're in the Northeast, it's the most beautiful day we've had in weeks. So we hope that this half an hour will be well worth your time. I'm going to just go right into our presentation here. This presentation is based upon Center for Online Learning, which is through a Nassau BOCES. BOCES stands for Board of Cooperative Educational Services. We are a state umbrella organization for school districts in and around Nassau County. We started the Center for Online Learning in 2014 and 15 to address the changes in instruction through mobile learning. As part of our Center for Online Learning, we had instituted what we call the Online Learning Academy, or OLA. OLA delivers virtual courses to students directly through BOCES, or districts are able to utilize OLA's system and courses for their teachers to deliver virtual courses within a school district setting. This particular part of OLA that we're going to address during today's meeting was an initiative that was started with one of our districts, the Valley Stream Central High School Districts. We began a partnership with them in 2017 and 18. And their goal was they wanted to give their high school students an experience in taking a course online prior to graduation. And the method that they chose to do that was to offer the opportunity for them to take a one-semester elective course that was going to be geared towards career exploration. And that's why eDynamic was just the perfect fit, because their courses are just the best when it comes to addressing current career trends. So that's the background of it. And my partner Eileen is going to talk about what the community at Valley Stream looked like, the educational community, to give you a chance to see what kind of a district took the plunge in addressing this type of a program. Eileen?
Thanks, Elisa. Yes. So Valley Stream is just a high school district on Long Island. It's composed of 4 secondary schools. 3 of the schools are strictly 9 through 12, and those are the 3 schools that are participating in the virtual elective program. So they're a very, very diverse school district. They are all sorts of demographics there. They have 30% get free and reduced lunch. They have AP courses, they have remedial courses. So you can see from the slide Elisa has up right now, it's very, very diverse. So there was a broad range of students who were interested. And what was nice about the district was they didn't limit this to anybody. They opened it up for any of their 11th grade students to enroll in an online elective course. The only criteria, I believe, is they had to be passing the first marking period so that they didn't want to overwhelm anybody, because this was going to be done strictly outside of their school day. So these students have a full course schedule. Some of these students even take a class during lunch period. So this is done outside the school day, and they just wanted to make sure that they would be able to handle it. So,
and the amazing thing is, if you look at that last bullet, 96% of graduating seniors attend higher education. The data on graduation and students attending colleges is very high given the demographics for the district. And it is exactly because the district is willing to take on initiatives such as this.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 100% of students graduate by August of senior year. What school can boast of that? And if you look at all of the demographics, they're similar to a lot of schools that do a lot, have fewer graduation, lower graduation rates and college attendance rates. This district was very careful in its implementation plan, and this is one of the key areas of why this program is a success. And these are very important points to take away if you're considering launching a similar program in your districts. The first thing they did was they presented a proposal to the superintendent's cabinet to make sure that all the senior administrators were on board. The second thing they did was that they met with their guidance counselor staff, and they not only to discuss the implementation procedures and plans, but they wanted to find out from them. They gave them the full roster of eDynamic learning courses. We had suggested that they limit the amount of courses being offered so that we could have healthy class sizes. So they got their guidance counselors' feedback on what they thought would be the best group of courses to offer that first year. Then after the guidance counselors, they also announced the program to their department chairs and their teachers union leadership. Because I don't know where you're calling in from, but in our neck of the woods, there is a great fear amongst teachers unions of the loss of jobs if students took online courses, and teacher contracts on Long Island, some of them even prohibit online learning. So the district was very careful to meet with union leaders to discuss the advantages of this program with them and to gain their support. So then they selected the group of elective courses. The first year of this program, they targeted it for 11th grade students only, and they set aside funds to enroll up to 100 students for that first year. We ran 2 semesters, a fall and a spring semester. And the way that they, in the fall, they met with the entire 11th grade in an assembly program to tell the students about the program, to see who was interested. They changed that methodology for the spring semester. During the spring semester, they had representatives from the district and my team go around to every 11th grade English class, and they spoke to the students in the English classes about this program.
So, and one of the things Elisa had said earlier was about gaining teacher support for this, because it was a fear. People were fearing that this would, teachers wouldn't be supportive because they would feel like they were taking away jobs. So our plan and the district's plan going in was only to offer elective courses that were not offered in district, so that they wouldn't be competing with enrollment during the day school. And then we encouraged teachers to apply. When we had gone around to the English courses to talk about the program, we received great feedback and support from the teachers, encouraging the students to take take this opportunity to take a course. And as a result, we had 9 teachers from that school district apply to be part of, and they are now part of our virtual teacher of record team. They're now facilitating some of these courses in their own district. So that we're really happy about that. Again, they met with the union president, and in order to train these teachers before they started teaching these elective courses, we provided professional development prior to the start of the school year, and then we have ongoing professional development during the year to help them learn how to become successful online teachers. So again, we've received such great feedback from the district, from the teachers, and the parents that we're happy with how this was implemented and are confident that other districts, if they follow the same procedures, will be successful as well.
So before we go to the next slide, I just want to touch upon the virtual teacher of record team. So when we started OLA in New York State, a teacher of record is defined by a teacher who is employed directly by the district or by a teacher that is employed by BOCES in New York State. We cannot use any vendor teachers or a teacher that is not employed directly by the district or by a BOCES in the state. So we started our own team and provided professional development to those teachers. And our goal is, when we start to work with districts, to onboard teachers from that district to serve their district first, as well as students from other districts when teachers aren't available. It's helpful to the districts also, because if we hire their teachers, they do get state aid on that, on the monies from the teacher's salary. Whereas if they hire them in district, it's a direct hire and they don't get state aid. It's an added work assignment as a Nassau BOCES employee. So once we were organized, we were set, we had the students enrolled, and now we were ready for our course facilitation. And I can say that we always, every semester, have more students initially indicate that they're interested in taking courses. They reach out to their guidance counselors, they reach out to us, and a fewer number actually sign up for the courses. We don't really know why. We do make sure that they have all the information about how much time a virtual course does take. And we want them, if they do apply themselves, to be successful. So we really want students to understand what they're signing up for before they do. So the big rush forward gets pulled back a little bit when it comes to actual enrollments. As we said, these courses are facilitated by our virtual teacher of record team. Prior to beginning the course, we bring the students through an orientation. Other than rollout, this is a second key factor to take away. When the Online Learning Academy first started in the Center for Online Learning, it was during a time when New York State had what was known as the Virtual Advanced Placement Course grant, where New York State paid for students to take online virtual AP courses. And throughout New York State, these were our best students. And throughout the state, at least half of the students dropped out before the courses were complete. And it was a real wake-up call to all of us that these students, even the best students, were not ready to take a course online. To address that, we created a mini module called Foundations of Online Learning. And we require all students to go through this orientation and this Foundations mini module before they begin their coursework. This orientation course introduces them to the learning management system, BUZZ, that these courses are housed in, as well as the skills that are necessary to be a successful online learner. We talk about setting aside particular time each day to work on the course, time management, how are they going to keep track of their assignments, that they need to keep in touch with their teachers, all of those elements that add up to a successful course experience. And then they actually go through each of the types of activities that are a part of these courses. They participate in a discussion thread. They submit assignments through a Dropbox. All of the course elements have a run through during this orientation. There's another important part of the course that we require. We found out that students really need to have some connection with their teachers other than completely asynchronous online. And therefore, we require all of our teachers to have one synchronous session per week. We use Zoom Room, and it is a scheduled session. Each course has its own session. It's usually in the evening because so many students have sports and are busy after school. The students are required to attend those Zoom sessions for the first 3 weeks. They go through a Zoom session during orientation. They're required to attend the first 3 weeks. After that, it is up to the teachers must log on every week. They need to stay on for at least 10 minutes. If no other student shows up after 10 minutes, they don't have to remain on for the rest of the hour. The teachers can require the students to attend if there's a reason that they need to attend. But other than that, it's a voluntary kind of office hours situation for the students. They can choose whether or not to attend those sessions. And then we monitor the student progress. I have a team member that checks weekly progress reports. If any students are falling behind pace or their grade is falling below passing, they will contact the student. They will contact the district-based mentor or guidance counselor that's assigned to that student. Sometimes they'll contact the student's parents. They're really just following up because we want to make sure that the students do not fall behind. It is, I can't cite the studies, but it's well known that if a student after the first 3 weeks falls significantly behind, it's very difficult for them to catch up. So we really try to keep on track of tracking students' progress and being in touch with what we call the student support team. Lastly is grading. The ultimate grades are up to the districts because they know their students better than we do. Our teachers send them the grade that they've earned, you know, their GPA, their activity time, their progress reports, everything the teachers would give to that student as a grade. However, the district has the final say in the final grade. Sometimes they might require more of the students. Sometimes they know that these students have some special needs, even if they're not classified. So if it's a point or two, they might adjust that. We just make it very clear to the district that if we are asked by any auditors or the state to report our grades, we're going to tell them the grade that we reported to the district, and the district needs to be able to verify their reasoning for adjusting that grade at any point. And now Eileen's going to cover some of our courses.
So the first year when we started with Valley Stream, the district surveyed some students and asked them for a selection of courses, and then the district ultimately decided on 5 courses to offer each semester. So the ones that have, we've rotated some of them over the years, and hospitality and tourism is one that we offered the first year, but not many students were interested in, so we replaced that with game design. So our most popular courses over the 3 years that we've been working there are the health sciences. This year we're offering health science in nursing. That's been very successful. We actually had to run 2 sections because we don't want to have more than about 10 or 12 kids in a section. So we're running 2 sections of the nursing course. Since we started, the introduction to veterinary science has also been very, very popular. So those courses the students have been very successful in. In terms of difficulty, our students are finding the most difficulty in game design course and the 3D modeling. So we offered game design last year, and for that reason, we decided not to offer it again this year because it became very stressful for the students. and we want this to be a positive experience for them. The 3D modeling is very, very interesting course, but it's also more difficult than the other elective courses being offered. So in that course as well, the students are finding a little bit of difficulty. Because of that, some of them didn't finish in the time frame we have. We give the students 15 weeks. Actually, they get 18 weeks. Our teachers work for 15 weeks. So we have built-in vacation weeks, and we provided extensions. The district agreed to provide extensions for the students that weren't finished because they were finding some difficulty in those. So, and some of the students now, because they opened it up to other grades, or have been coming back year after year. So we've had students that have taken 2 courses with us already, and I'm already getting emails about what's going to be offered next year. So they really are enjoying these courses. They're really engaging, and they're so information. There's so much information in them, and they're so well laid out, and they're very engaging. So we're really, really happy with the eDynamic electives.
So our results so far, we've had 171 students complete courses. As I said earlier, that we've had greater interest versus actual enrollment. We have offered course extensions of up to 3 weeks.
Yep.
And as
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
Our most popular were vet, the health sciences, and the most challenging are the game design and 3D modeling. We think what happens is that kids who love to play video games have been attracted to gaming, 3D modeling, but they don't realize that it's hard work. It's coding, it's very linear at the beginning, and it's very challenging. And therefore, we think that the types of students that these courses initially attract, it's not really what they didn't think it was going to be kind of like doing math and doing, very technical stuff. That's just a guess. We have no science behind that.
Yeah, some were honest and thought they were going to be playing more video games than actually designing video games.
Right.
So
exactly. I know that we're running low on time here, so I'm going to forge forward about what we've learned. Eileen, you want to go through that?
Sure. So we have a short video there, but I'm not going to show it just for the sake of time, but pretty much all the students in that video talked about time management being the greatest challenge in taking the online course. We go over this at the orientation with the students at the beginning of the, before they even start, and we let them know that they have to really plan out their time. But that was really a big takeaway, and still this semester, that students say that they're not used to having to manage their time. They're used to their teacher, being on top of them and seeing them every day. So this is something that they have to regulate on their own. With our help, of course. We do align due dates for the students as a gauge to keep them on pace, but that being said, it's still a struggle. So we talked about this, monitoring the progress and sending that communication to the district and parents, and we also are ensuring that they all finish the Foundations of Online Learning course, which is the orientation course prior to beginning the content, just so that they know how to submit the assignments, take a quiz, participate in a discussion, so that there's less time spent on learning that as the course goes on.
So this is just a great, again, we're going to come back to this if we have time at the end, or if those who have another minute or two. We try to really supplement what our students are doing when we hear great stories about the fields. This is a wonderful video about how 3D modeling is being used in the medical field. I'm going to skip past that now, but hopefully we'll have time to come back to that in the end. I don't know what happened to that slide. We've already gone through. Okay, so we have modified the program throughout the years. One of the best modifications we made was that we switched from a fall spring semester to having one mid-semester schedule. What we've done is we now run one semester beginning around Thanksgiving and ending in April before exams begin. This way the students can start off their school year, get settled in their regular courses. When everything is solidified and we use the fall to canvas who would like to take these courses. And then we start the semester around Thanksgiving. And then it's kind of like a fresh start. It's something new that they can work on. And then we end the courses right before all of the crunch time comes for their exams for their other classes. This has been a great success. We used to let them start in their course while they were doing the foundations course if they didn't complete it, but now they must complete that before they start their course, and they must attend. At first, we were making all of the virtual face-to-face sessions voluntary, but we found what students wouldn't realize how great they were unless they actually attended one. So now we require them to attend for the first 3 weeks. The program has been expanded, so now grades 10 through 12 can enroll, and it's been great because, as Eileen said, some of the students are taking multiple courses in their ensuing years. Where we are right now, moving forward, is we want other students from other districts to be able to enroll in these courses with the Valley Stream students. And we are so excited. I can't tell you how excited we are about the eDynamic Career Ready program. If we were starting to really gain some interest on that before this hit this spring and everybody got detoured. But we think that Career Ready program and the preparation for certification exams is going to be a great addition to this program. Eileen, you want to cover the affordability?
Yeah, so one of the benefits of this as well is that this provides the opportunity for students to take a course if there's not enough enrollment for the district to run it.
So we only have 1 minute left, so.
Yep, so I'm just going to cover that part because I think that's important. Like we had one student take hospitality and tourism. That if that was being offered in district, they wouldn't have run that section. Whereas we're able to run these sections with 1 or 2 students. We prefer more for the experience of being in a class, an online class together, but that's, I think, a benefit as well as this being a cost-effective, opportunity for the district.
And I know you can see, you'll have access to the slide deck, but as you can see, to run an online course is actually much less expensive for a district than to run one face-to-face for many reasons. But again, it's not to replace, it's to supplement. Well, we made it to the end. And we have the links to those videos. If you have time, please do go back and watch them. They are using 3D printing to not only create
prosthetics,
thank you, Eileen, but also to create an esophagus. They actually 3D printed someone's esophagus and 3D printed a bone that had been eaten away from cancer, so that when the doctors removed the cancer with all the nooks and crannies that had eaten away at the bone, they had an exact replica, because through 3D imaging, they were able to make that prosthetic or that new shin bone prior to the surgery. So please do view those videos if you have a chance, and I'm going to turn it back to Sari.
Yes, thank you. And that story about the career connection from 3D modeling to health sciences is bone chilling, truly. I know that everyone on the eDynamic Learning team and family, we all watched that video, and we are hopefully everyone attending this will see it as well. But we are out of time today, and that concludes our session. Thank you so much, Eileen and Elisa. I really do appreciate your input and your sharing of your story. It's amazing. And thank you everyone for joining today and watching. If your question was not answered that you put in the chat, we will be sure to follow up with you and provide you with an answer. And you'll also receive a certificate of your participation today, as well as a survey. If you would like more information from our presenters, please feel free to reach out to hello@edynamiclearning.com and we'll get you connected. Also, please, you are welcome to register for additional sessions for tomorrow. And if you are interested, simply visit tinyurl.com/EDL Summit. Thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful Friday evening. Take care and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be well, everyone.
Bye-bye.